yet another episode. Am I live? Let's go. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Lift and Shine podcast. This is your host, Coach C from Shinebright Fitness Academy. By the way, if you didn't know, I run a women's weight loss community, and I'm so excited to do this podcast right now. By the way, also, this is my little friend, the Zopster, Zopie. He'll be joining us probably all the time since he follows me everywhere. I'm coming on today. I had this thought at the gym, seeing other women lifting, and I figured this is a topic that needed to be discussed and talked about because there is so much information on social media, so much information on the internet that you may not know what to do at the gym, and I want to provide you with guidance and help when it comes to lifting weights, especially if you're just starting out. And to also, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. But also, if you're live right now, hashtag I'm here. I'm doing things a little bit different here. So now I'm like, wait, hold on, what's the next step? Perfectionism. Perfectionism doesn't exist. We were just talking about that on a group call yesterday. So hashtag I'm here. If you are watching me live on my platforms, hashtag replay if you're watching me on replay, and drop your wins. I like to start these off with wins. We have to celebrate our wins every single day, and your win may not be the same as my win. Your win may be I woke up today. I made breakfast today. I fueled my mind, my body, and my soul today. Today, I feel good. Like that, those are wins that you have to continuously celebrate because that's what's going to push you to get the results that you want in your fitness. So let's talk about to lift heavy or not to lift heavy, especially at the gym, at home, when you're working out. What should you do for your body? So the first question I want to ask you is, what's your goal? What is your goal when it comes to fitness? Your goal may be I just want to lift heavy. I just want to be strong. Or your goal is, I want to lose weight. I want to feel toned. I want to feel light. I want to feel good, right? Depending on what your goals are, there's different plans, different workout plans for everybody. But also, it's knowing what's good for your body. Because if your goal is to lift heavy, like I just want to be strong, I want to lift heavy, but you're overweight, your body's inflamed, and your body's already taking on so much stress, your body's crying out for help. Your body's saying, hey, give me a break. I just want to breathe. Maybe right now you're in that survival mode of go, 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 go. And and then you're adding so much weight to your body at the gym, and it's only hindering your fitness journey and it's not actually helping you. So I get asked all the time, like I hear all the time, I need to lift heavy. I need to lift heavy. But the truth is, it's not about how heavy the weight is. It's about how intentionally you challenge your body. Being intentional. That's the word this month that we've been using in my community. We have an intention challenge. The intention behind the workout. Are you being intentional with your workout? Are you going into the gym just to get a workout done and not focusing on what you're actually working out on? Because lifting heavy doesn't mean slapping plates on a barbell. It means lifting with purpose. What is your purpose? And that's why at the beginning of this podcast, I asked you, what's your goal? What's your purpose? Is it to become strong? Is it to become healthy? Is it to feel good? And I always have a reason why I have these topics because I was at the gym today and here I am doing leg day. By the way, new workout program that I'm doing with everybody that joined this week. Super excited about it. And I was doing some squats and some lunges with the Smith machine. And in the past, I used to put 44-pound plates on each side and just killing my body because I wanted to lift heavy. And I saw the other girls lifting heavy. And like today, here I am doing squats with 11-pound plates. And I see the other girls around me lifting so heavy, so heavy. And again, it's not the comparison, but as women, we do tend to look at other women at the gym, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you're wondering, okay, should I be doing what she's doing? Should I be doing what they're doing? And I looked at them being like, oh, you don't need to lift so heavy, because your body, if your body is already inflamed and overweight, lifting heavy may not be the solution for your body. And this is where being intentional with what you do is important in the gym. So the mindset behind lifting heavy, like I mentioned, lifting is to lift with purpose. What's your purpose behind it? You don't need to lift super. If your goal right now, let's say you're over 200 pounds, 300 pounds, and you want to lose the weight, imagine how much weight your body's carrying right now, extra weight that your body wants to get rid of. So adding weight on top of it, like those weighted vests that I hear on social media, that may not be what you need right now. What you may need right now is just to figure out why you became overweight. What's the core? What's the root cause of the weight gain? Is it emotional eating? Is it binge eating? And then why you're binge eating, why you're emotionally eating, right? You have to figure out first, what's the core issue? What's the problem? Why am I hiding in the kitchen eating food? Why am I binge eating at night? I've been there. I'm talking from experience. So the goal when it comes to lifting weights is progress overload. So consistently challenging your muscles so they adapt and grow. So if you're just starting out, or even if you're in this journey and you're like, I'm not seeing results, maybe it's time to put down the weights and just focus on form. Focus on what your body actually needs. And what your body needs right now may just be some stretches, some yoga classes, and focusing on the form. And then comes as I mention all the time, the nutrition, the sleep, the stress level. So speaking from experience here, I will share my journey of losing 30 pounds in 6 months with, very, very low calorie deficit and not focusing on all the root cause, the internal self-healing that I've been working on the past couple of years, but I didn't work on that 5 years ago, and I lost the weight and I put the weight back on because I didn't focus on what truly happened, why I had put on the weight in the first place. And what happened was stress, anxiety, and then not knowing how to handle all the situations that happened around me. And then binge eating came back, stress eating, lack of sleep. My central nervous system was so out of whack. And I hired a coach. They put me on a low calorie deficit. I was doing 2-hour workouts, lifting heavy. So my body is already crying out for help. My body is inflamed. My body is saying, hey, be kind to me. And here I am adding weights, lifting heavy, trying to compete with other women at the gym. And that didn't help my situation. It only worsened it. So what I did to lose, now I've lost 20 pounds and I've kept it off because I've done it in a very, very slow progress, but I went back to square one. And when I say go back to square one, we never really go back to square one. It was a season in my life where I said, you know what? I need to really figure out what's going on with my body. Why am I so inflamed? Here I am coaching other women to lose weight. I'm changing their mindset, helping them. And here I am putting on weight. I had to really just stop and really do some really deep internal healing, self-healing. And when it comes to the gym and the workouts, I stopped lifting heavy. I focus on form. And today's a new workout plan for me and the community. And the first week of a new workout plan, because each phase is 4 weeks long. The first week is really understanding the workouts, understanding the exercises, and how your body reacts to it. Is this something that you're comfortable doing? And if you're not, get out of your comfort zone and try a little bit more. But if it hurts, then stop and change the exercise around. There's a lot of concepts that goes into this, But for me, like today, I started light. I'm going to start light. So I put on 11-pound plates on each side of the barbell, and I just went slow and in control. And then next week, I'll add 5 pounds. And then the week after, I may stay there, depending on how my body feels. You never want to start at like a high, heavy weight and think that I'm going to stay there and I want to, you look at everybody else around the gym and everybody's lifting so heavy. And I realized, hey, the only competition is me. At the end of the day, it's me versus me. What am I doing today that's better than yesterday? Right? So as I mentioned, the answer to this question, it really varies on where your journey is, where you want to get to, but also the big factor here is your body. Like, listen to your body. Your body's your best friend. And if it's not your best friend right now, make your body your best friend. Make your body understand that it needs the love that it needs. It needs to be cherished with food, with exercises. Once you learn to be best friends with your body and you listen to your body's cues, that's when you'll see results. Not when you're overdoing it, you're pushing hard at the gym and you're exhausted, you're not sleeping, and you're not seeing results because you're trying to copy everybody else lifting heavy, and everybody's doing these glutes exercise to get the booty, which is awesome. Kudos to you. But at the end of the day, I just want to feel good. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel strong, but I don't need to lift so heavy that it actually hinders my journey. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, my back's a little bit sore right now. But I've had back injuries where I've been in a car accident. I've been on bed rest. I was on bed rest for months. I couldn't walk. Like, my back's taking a toll on me. And so I know that lifting heavy is just going to add pressure onto my body. And therefore, I'm not going to do that. There are exercises at the gym and at home that you can do to get toned legs without putting heavy weights on you. Heavy equals bulky. Women often fear that they're going to get bulky. And that's not the reality, right? In reality, building significant muscle mass requires a calorie surplus. So you have to be like eating a lot, years of training and specific focus. So most women look leaner, tighter, and more defined when they start lifting heavier because the muscle gives shape. So now with everything that I've said, you're starting light and you're adding 5 pounds every week or every 2 weeks, so gradually increasing. But don't start right away lifting heavy. But you'll notice, like now I can curl, I'm doing 25-pound dumbbell curls here with my bicep, and you can see I'm not bulky, I'm strong. That's what I want you ladies to focus on when you go to the gym. But again, if that's not, I'm saying that's what I want you guys to focus on. But at the end of the day, I, as a woman, want to feel good, feel strong, and feel toned. So first thing I want to ask you is, what's your goal? Where do you see yourself in 6 months? And then the next thing is, how do you want your body to feel, right? It's the feeling. Like, what do you want to feel like? It's not just what do you want to look like, because the first step is to feel good so you can work on the rest. It really, again, depends on where you're at in your journey. And other questions here, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking something else. Squirrel. But a couple questions I want to ask you is, before you start lifting, is, are my joints supported and stable? So how is your body, right? Do you have any injuries? Just like I mentioned, I have injuries, so that's why I know I'm not going to lift heavy on my back. I'm not going to put weight on my body when I know my body isn't in the state that I want it to be. Like, I'm not going to hinder my body just to lift heavy. Okay. Another thing I want you to ask is, when you're working out, if you're starting out right now and you're listening to this, please go to the gym and focus on form only. And then ask yourself, is my form solid through every rep? If you're lifting heavy and your form is not where it should be, and there are tons of YouTube videos online that shows proper form for exercises, please make sure you watch those. And if you're in my community, there's a video for every exercise. I want you, especially if you're new, watch these. And even if you're not new, listen, I'm not new in this fitness journey, and I still watch videos to make sure that I'm doing it properly. It's a learning experience, right? So is your form solid through every rep? If your form isn't solid, then you may be hindering your journey, but you also may cause some injuries in there. So just be very careful with that. And then the last question I want to ask you is, am I recovering well? Sleep, nutrition, stress. Recovery is where you see the results. You won't see the results at the gym. You'll see the results from sleep, stress level, nutrition, right? All of those things take part. So I'm just going to check here for a second who's live, who's joining me today. I see a couple of you live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're getting some value from this. And I hope that the one big takeaway I want you to take from this episode is to understand your body. What does my body need? And stop comparing yourself with every girl at the gym or every girl on social media lifting heavy. And sometimes I see that and I'm like, oh, your poor body. I just want to hug them and be like, your body needs love and tender and care. Stop putting so much weight on it, right? So don't focus on everybody else and focus on yourself. It's you versus you. It's nobody else, right? And you don't need to destroy your body to change it. That's important. Like, you don't need to feel pain to feel good at the end. You just need to challenge it consistently, slowly but surely. Okay. And then a couple other points I want to touch base on is how to know if you're lifting the right weight. So you're in the right range when the last 2 to 3 reps feel challenging but doable with good form. So if you're doing bicep curls right now and you're doing, let's say 10, the 8th rep and the 9th and 10th rep should be challenging, as in like, okay, but you shouldn't be like moving your body in ways where you're not keeping the form. And another point too is you feel the muscle working, not your joints straining. It's two different feelings. And that's another thing. Again, learning your body. Is your muscle working, or are you actually hurting your body? Do your joints hurt? Pain, like hurtful pain, and muscle pain are two different feelings. So understand those. So next time you're at the gym, or you're working out at home, I want you to really, like, all these questions I'm asking you right now is ask yourself this question. Okay, am I feeling this? Is this hurting me? Right? Is this challenging me? And then the next point too is you can progress, like I've mentioned earlier, is week by week. So adding 5 pounds or doing more reps. For example, for me today, my workout said to do 10 reps lunges, and I only did 8 because I've added on 5 pounds on me. And therefore I was like, okay, by the 8th, I was struggling, I was shaking, and I stopped. I'm not going to keep going if my form is not controlled. All right. So if you're working out, if your workout feels like you're just going through the motions and you're not actually doing like a mind and muscle connection, you're not lifting heavy enough. If you're losing the form, you're lifting too heavy. Okay, so there's 2 things really next time you're working out, just pay attention to that. And the last thing I'm going to share, and I like fitness, nutrition, and mindset has become just such a big part of my life. And there's just such a deep lesson in this because lifting heavy is symbolic. It's about proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. But again, lifting heavy for you may be different than lifting heavy for me, right? And it's not about lifting the heaviest. It's feeling it, feeling the burn. When you can feel that burn, that's when you know you're going to see results. You don't have to lift extremely heavy. lifting heavy is symbolic, okay? Please understand, there's a whole mind, body, soul connection to that. You don't need to lift super, super heavy to lose weight. As per my other episodes, if you've been watching and listening to me, nutrition, sleep, and stress. All right? And every rep builds confidence. It builds confidence. Going to the gym, every time you go to the gym brings more confidence, not just in your muscles, but in your mindset. I used to go to the gym like just with my head down and shoulder. Like I started my fitness journey during COVID in my mom's basement. So I was never comfortable at the gym. And then I became comfortable at the gym. Now I go to the gym. I'm in my own zone. People are like, oh, I saw you at the gym. I'm like, I have never seen you in my life before. The gym is like my place and I feel confident there now because I've worked on myself, and every single day I just improve. So when you pick up something heavy in the gym, you also start to realize you can handle the heavy stuff in life too. When you're going to the gym and you're doing an exercise that's uncomfortable, you realize, hey, I can put myself in an uncomfortable situation and rise from that. Right? So at the end of the day, I want to finish off with this, is that it's not to lift heavy or not to lift heavy. It's about lifting with intention. What are your intentions? Lift heavy enough to challenge your body and lift smart enough to protect it. And lift often enough to change your life. Consistency is everything. All right. So I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, like, comment on this video. If you're listening to my podcast, I appreciate you. Share with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, to all my social media things, so I can hopefully touch one soul. And I know it's going to end, but something came in my mind right now, and I want to share this. Is that we had a group coaching call yesterday, and so powerful. And one of the clients reached out saying how that group call just made her aware that staying where she's at in that poor me mentality is going to help her get the results that she wants. She needs to she's aware of it, which is huge, and just doing things that brings her joy. And that's what we talked about in the call yesterday. And so I just want to share, that's all that matters to me. So I would love to hear from you. And that's it. That's all. So thank you. Feeling super grateful right now. I appreciate you all so much. And as I always say, peace, love, and don't forget your protein. Let's freaking